So, in this one, we're talking about how Meghan does not take Harry's attentiveness for granted. So, in the video before this one, I spoke about how Harry is a world-class girl dad and how lucky Lilibet is to have him as her dad. And, one person responded, I think it was Essie. She said that, Meghan is also lucky that Harry is so attentive towards her. And I have to agree with that because I do think that Harry is very attentive to his wife, and he has remained steadfastly so for the past, how long has it been? About 6 years or so. And I think that, I'm sure that Meghan does not take it for granted that her husband is very, very attentive towards her and towards the children, because look, a man can love you and still not be very attentive, right? And a man can be your husband or your partner, whatever, and still not be attentive. The fact that you're having a relationship with someone does not automatically mean that this person is attentive to you and to your needs, and he pays attention and he listens and he helps you to work on the relationship and to nurture the relationship. And when I say work on the relationship, I don't mean to sort of, I hate this notion of how much work, relationships are. I mean, I think, good relationships or the right relationships don't really require so much work. You know what I mean? I think it comes naturally, and that the more work you have to do on the relationship is, the more trouble you're in the end, because you can work and work and work on something, and if it's just not working, it's just not working. And then other things, they just are, you don't have to work at it. It's just what it is, And with Harry and Meghan, I kind of feel like that's just what it is, He's very attentive, and so is she, obviously. But I mean, a man's attentiveness towards a woman is a very unique thing because men are not typically very attentive to things that don't hold their interest fundamentally, They're just not. They're not wired to care one way or another unless they do care, and that's when they are attentive. And I think that Harry has been and continues to be very, very attentive towards Meghan, and, a doting father as well. So kudos to Meghan for, she has said she doesn't take this for granted. And I just said kudos to her for recognizing that, the value of what she has and showing appreciation for it and not taking it for granted is so important. I think the minute you start to take a guy like Harry for granted, you run the risk of losing him, So she has to be, and look, some will say, and the opposite is true, that, taking a woman like Meghan for granted can also be a big mistake. And I don't doubt it, but I do think that because I'm just a girl, I'm a woman, from my perspective, it would be a big mistake for Meghan to take Harry for granted, Well, you guys, what time is it? It's about 2 o'clock maybe in my world at the moment, and I'm like, I need my afternoon nap.